Testing, testing, testing. I'm a little sick. Hi everybody, my name is Nicholas Dominguez, and today we'll be talking about how to get a 5 on the AP Human Geography. Okay, so a bit about me. Like I said, my name is Nicholas. I'm gonna be a junior this year. I took AP Human Geography, I guess technically 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, I don't remember. Took it freshman year, and I got a 5. And so today I'm going to share with you some stuff that I definitely found helpful to help you also get that 5. The test itself is formatted kind of like most AP tests. You have 2 sections, multiple choice and free response. The multiple choice is comprised of 75 questions, and that takes about an hour. And each question I believe has 5 different answer choices. FRQs, or free response questions, there's 3 of them, but each question is split up into 3 different parts. So like question 1 will have like define this, and like part A will have define this, part B will have explain da 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 da, and kind of like that. The FRQ itself, the section, will take about an hour and 15 minutes. That's the time they give you, and is also worth 50%. So yeah. A bit of a disclaimer, even if you get a 5 on this exam, most colleges won't accept college credit for it, which kind of sucks because like you put in all this work and you can't even get college credit. But there are still some benefits in taking the class and taking the test. First off, it doesn't hurt you. Like, you can get that 5 and it looks really good on your college applications. It's a very good introduction into like how the AP system works. It's honestly the easiest AP course you can take, and so it's very good to get like kind of like your feet wet. It's also going to be a really good foundation builder for world history. If you're going to take AP World History next year, I would definitely recommend taking this course freshman year because it helps you kind of build a foundation and kind of get your knowledge going about other places of the world, especially if you're not very cultured when you come into the class. Okay, now let's talk about some tips. Read the chapters. I feel like your teachers probably tell you this all the time, but seriously, like, read the chapters. Just split out the amount of pages you have to read over like 3 or 4 days before it's due, and just sit down and read them. And when I say read, actually read. Like, don't skim. I know that sometimes we just want to like zoom through it, but make sure you're reading and really understanding, grasping the concepts, so that way later during testing day you're not like, oh crap, I don't know any of this. You will do so much better if you read and you like cover the holes that your teacher might miss during their lectures. Because when usually how this class works is you read the chapters and then teacher lectures, and sometimes their lectures might not cover everything in the book, and so it'll definitely help bridge that gap between the 2. Take notes. Outline your chapters and like fill in like however many sentences you need for that certain section. It will definitely help you retain information. It's scientifically proven that writing stuff down helps you remember it. And they don't have to be pretty, they don't have to be those extra Tumblr notes that have like all these colors and flags and all this extra stuff. Just take notes and make sure it's in terms that you can understand. So that way when you go back and you review them, you're really understanding, and it'll help you retain the information better. Definitely, put definitions, explain the concepts. The very important thing is make sure you use examples. Examples are so important for not only the multiple choice, but the FRQ too. Like, on the multiple choice, there'd be like a question like, define which of the following is an example of a nation state? You may know what a nation state is, but if you don't know examples of those, you won't be able to answer the question. That's just one example on the multiple choice, but on the FRQ, like one letter, like A, B, or C, could be give an example of the following, or explain something this using an example, something like that. And you're gonna be missing like easy points because you don't know like an example of it. So just for each big concept you learn, maybe learn 1 or 2 examples and write it down in your notes so that you'll remember that, and when you go through it you'll be like, oh, this is an example of this, and it'll definitely help you score higher on the test. Try to use spaced repetition. Take the notes, 10 minutes later review them, a day later you review them again, and then a couple days later you review them again. This will definitely help you grasp the concepts better, and it'll make sure it won't just like fly in through one here and go out the other. Please, please, please make sure you're reviewing your notes, because there's no point in taking them if you're just gonna write them and then throw them away. My next tip is to get Princeton reviewed. This is my AP World History one, because I gave my AP World, AP Human Geography one to my teacher so he could give it to someone else next year. I mean, this year, I guess. But Princeton Review for AP Human Geography has all the information you need. Literally, it was a lifesaver. I love that book so much. Don't be frightened by the thickness of this book. Most of it's practice exams. But the AP Human Geography is like probably this big. Maybe like that big. Like, it's smaller than this book, so don't freak out. The way it works is that the book is like, they have like tips on taking the actual exam, but what I use it for is just the content review. So they'll split it up by section and subject, and you can just go through and highlight. I honestly would not recommend taking notes. Like, you can take notes in the margins, but do not take like notebook paper notes for this book, because it is so big and you probably already should have taken your notes during your class. If you're gonna take notes and you're gonna use a Princeton Review, make sure you're focusing on those areas that you struggle the most. Do not waste your time studying something you already know when you could be learning something that you do have like no clue about. Start early. I know I started like in April, which is not good because that gave me like a month before the exam. But a good thing to do is during like the start of the year, like, get the book early. So as the course goes along, like November, December, whatever, you can also follow along in your Princeton Review book. So by the time that April comes and like you're re-reviewing, you already read through the whole Princeton Review book once, and then you can really just focus in on the areas that you need the most help on. Definitely use the practice exams. I remember that the one I got had 2. Definitely use those. The questions on the Princeton Review are a little easier than the actual ones on the exam, but it's very good practice, and definitely do those closer towards testing time, like in April. Don't do them too early, because then you won't have any more resources to use. At Albert IO. If you haven't heard about Albert IO, where have you been? Because Albert IO is literally a blessing. Albert IO is basically a website that has practice for literally every standardized exam you could ever think of. They have so many AP courses. They have like all the AP courses there. So good resource for not only human geography, but for all your AP tests. So the way it works is that they have the different like subtopics in human geography that College Board covers, like religion, industrialization, etc., etc. And they just have hundreds and hundreds of multiple choice questions for you to practice. It is an excellent resource for getting really acclimated to the way College Board works. The questions are so accurate. Like, when I tell you that sometimes it was like word for word, it was really like uncanny how like similar the questions on Albert IO were to the actual exam questions. So definitely use that if you want to kind of see how the questions they ask are, like how they sound, how they word them. And it's also just really good to test yourself. Like, you can read through a section in your Princeton Review book and then go back to Albert IO and test yourself over it to make sure you're really understanding the material. Make sure you buy premium. The premium, it's not too bad, like it's $20 to $30, but it'll really help you, because you'll get the explanations and you'll get access to the hard questions. And so it'll definitely prepare you for exam day. Those two together make like an unstoppable combo. Like, it'll help you so much, and it'll really up your chances of getting a 5 on the AP Human Geography test. Read the FRQs. If you go onto College Board, there are literally so many FRQs available for you. Like, I feel like 20 years back, they have FRQs available for back then. I don't know, but it's a lot. If you go onto College Board, like I said, they have 3 PDF files. They have the one with just the questions, the way you would see on the exam. Then the second one is the one with the questions and then the answers. And then the third one is the student graded responses. So what I would do is I would use it in conjunction with the practice test. So I would take the practice test, grade myself on the multiple choice, and then I would go online, pick a FRQ at random, and I wouldn't write anything. I would just like think to myself in my brain, like, oh, I would say something along the lines of this. And then after I've gone through and answered the whole FRQ set, I would then go and test my answers on the answer key and grade myself. Then I would put my multiple choice from the practice exam and then the FRQ together, and I would use a AP Human Geography grade calculator. I'll leave it in the description below so you can use it. It's very accurate. And I would just see what I would get. Please just, do as many as you can. Just get used to how they word the questions and what type of answers they're looking for. That'll be so helpful on test day just to get acclimated to the test itself. Not only that, but you can use the third PDF, the student graded responses, and you can really see what College Board is looking for the perfect scores and kind of gear your writing and answers to that kind of style. So yeah, those are all my tips for you today. Good luck on the exam. I'm sure you'll do fine. Like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have anything you would like me to do. I'm very good when it comes to school stuff. So yeah, just let me know. So thank you for watching. Bye.